Hello, outrageous ones. It is the end of the year and we're doing our last video for 2021. I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas and you've had time to relax and enjoy and regroup. And that's exactly what I've been doing these last few days. I have taken some advice from Best Life Lee. If you are not familiar with her channel, I will link it below. Make sure that you go see my sweet, lovely friend, because her last video was about planning. And so she has the same idea that I did. We think alike a lot. And I thought I would take you through my thought process for the end of the year. So these are my journals for this year. I am big on journaling. I just get composition notebooks. And this is, I usually do one a quarter. I think I'm missing one. Nope, is that everything? Yeah. So I have one for each quarter. And I write everything in these. There are notes on books. There are ideas for things, just daily living, things that I want to work on. When I find quotes, I have quotes all through them. And it's a really good record of self-help books or motivational books or any type of nonfiction that I'm reading or anything I get ideas from. This is where I dump everything. And one of the things that Best Life Lisa suggested was going back through your year and hitting the highlights. So I have been taking time to read through and look at the highlights, look at the lowlights as well, and seeing if there's anything that I want to bring into the next year, change for the next year, or continue for the next year. So this is one thing that I do every year, and I love these notebooks. I have quite a few, so I'm ready for my next, for the next year. And I just use a white paint marker, and I've started putting this on the spine because sometimes I will go back and I want to know something from, that year. And I can't say that I'm going to keep them all. Sometimes I let them go by burning them and releasing it back out into the universe. But right now, these are just a document of what I do in the year, what I read in the year. And to me, it's a great resource to go back to. So that is something that I'm doing. I am not a person who really gets planner piece. A lot of people, you buy your new planner, you do calendar, you buy all the little goodies and stuff, and I'm right there with you. I've done it. I've always gravitated towards a bullet journal, and I really love a bullet journal for the freedom to design it the way that your mind is working or that you're thinking. And I usually stick with that, but I went and bought, this is Live a Full Life. It's a wellness planner, and it has goal setting, and it has, it's really for wellness. And at the beginning of the month, it gives you a blank page, goals to set, routines, and then, you have your month, and then you have a place during the week, and at the end of every day, you can, it has emojis for how you feel and goals that you've set, things that you want to do, and you can track it. And I will get a planner and not always consistently use it, but I have enjoyed this one. I am actually using it, and I'm incorporating some things from some other planners that I like. I still do artwork in it, just like my bullet journal. I have borrowed some ideas from the Panda Planner. I love the Panda Planner because of the way they set up the days. Because you have your quote for the day, your focus for the day, 3 things that you want to achieve, your tasks, and then it breaks your day down by time. And I really like that. And a friend of mine had told me about the Panda Planner, and I follow someone on Instagram, and I'm going to put her below, and I apologize because I want to get her name right, and I'm not going to say it. I didn't do my homework before I started this. I have it written down somewhere. Anyway, she had done a video about how she plans and how she used different colors. And I love to color code. I've always been a color coder. When I was a teacher, I color coded the days of the week on check-in sheets. And when I was a librarian, I color coded my different grade levels. And now that it's just me, I color code my goals. And a lot of people are big on setting resolutions and things in January. And I don't really have any resolutions, but I do have goals that I have set. And I've made it easy for myself. And I have a quadrant of goals. So I have 4 areas in finance, health and fitness, family relationships, and creativity. And I've kind of merged everything into those groups. So I use these, and these are just, they're Bic Intensity pens, but I have a plethora of pens, but I try to stick to the same colors. And I use red for tasks that I want to complete that day. So this is how I plan. And I try to do kind of a brain dump, a list here, because I am bad. I don't honor my planner like I should. If I put it on that day, I don't necessarily do it. But if I put it over here and things that I need to do, then I know to migrate them to a day, and I'm more likely to be successful, because that's just how I work. I do not like to be told what to do, even if I tell myself. So I just make my list of things and then I put them in my planner. That's what I do. I don't know about you. Do you have a word for the year? Do you kind of contemplate that and come up with a word? I've done it for the past few years. I kind of thought it was jinky. And then I really thought about the process and how something keeps coming up in your life, and you kind of have that for a focus. And I have had different words, and I'm going to post down below. I have a blog post about it a few years back. And Karen from Two Orchids has talked about having a word for the year. Last year, her word was bliss. And if it hadn't been for her word bliss, I would not have met this wonderful tribe of ladies and the Two Orchids, and just had this wonderful community come into my life. And I am so thankful her word was bliss, because it wasn't just for her. She manifested this, and it turned into this wonderful thing. And she talks about how she found her word last year and for this year. So I have a word for this year. I'm not sharing it yet. I'm not there, because I'm still plinking things out in my planner and considering some things. But I do have a word. It did come to me, and your word is yours, and other people may interpret it differently, and they may not think about it the way you do, but that's okay, because what other people think about your word is none of your business, because that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So I don't know if you have a word, but to me, it's been a big help. And I don't always have that in focus, I guess, but it continues to cycle through my year. And so I'm looking forward to next year. So I wanted to talk about journals. I wanted to talk about planners. And I talked about my word. And I think that's about everything that I have for you today. So I don't know if you journal, but journaling is a lifesaver for me, because this is where I put, like I said, books that I read, notes from books that I read, quotes that I find, and ideas for things. I mean, it's just full of brain dumps, recipes, anything I find, I have to write it down. And also this keeps me being a nice person, because sometimes people aggravate the pure vinegar out of me, and sometimes that's easy to do. And it's so much nicer if I put in here what I'm thinking and I don't verbalize it, because by the time I finish dumping out the acid that is running through my veins, I can get a better perspective. I can slow down. I can think about the other side. I can consider if I'm being a brat. I can consider if I'm really, really entitled to being so upset. And it's just a way for me to get it out of my system, get out all that bleh, and not hurt somebody else. Because, I used to tell my students all the time that if you squeeze toothpaste out of a tube, you can't get it back in there. And sometimes when we say hurtful things, even if it's just in the moment and we feel like we are entitled to do so, you can't ever get those words back. And you may feel terrible about them, but you've made somebody else feel terrible. It just multiplies that sensation. So to me, these things are a lifesaver. I encourage you to journal if you don't. And if you do, I think that's wonderful. Do you have a specific type of journal that you like? Something that, you can't live without. I love my composition books. And do you use a planner? Do you have planner piece, outrageous ones? If you do, I would love it if you would share what kind of planner you use below. I'm going to put some YouTubers down in the description box. Please check them out because they have excellent videos on planning and they give me the best ideas. And you don't have to follow somebody's planner idea or get their planner, but you can take their ideas and you can put it into something that you can use. And that's what I've done. And I think I have planner peace if I will just be consistent with my planner. We'll see. So notes, planning, word. Do you have a word for the day? Do you want to share? I'm not going to share mine yet. I'm probably going to share it in January, but I'm going to keep it to myself for right now because it's not 2022 yet. I hope that you have the absolute best New Year's, and I hope that you have things planned and prayed for to look forward to. And if you need some prayers, then put it in the comments, and my prayer warriors and I will pray for you, because that's what community is all about. And speaking of community, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of the community. And if there are things that you would like to see next year, then put them in the comments. I know people have said they want more DIYs, and by all means, comment. Give me some comments. Give me a like if you like this video. Take care of yourself, stay outrageous, and I will see you in 2022.